Welcome to Poorly Explained.
Stay a while and listen.
All right.
I feel ready, but I feel like funky.
Well,
but it's good.
This isn't for this episode.
Yeah.
This episode, guys, we're
You just
sorry.
you just
We thought
beefed?
we had... No, that was you.
No, it wasn't.
Well, then I don't know what it was because it wasn't me. I did not fart. We thought we had video for this episode. We don't have it. We're sorry. We love you. We're recording this. That was another one.
What's going on, dude?
We're recording this voiceover explaining that we don't have video after we've already gotten it all figured out. We thought we had it for this video, but we had some technical difficulties.
Yep.
We're sorry. We love you. And after this, from now on, it'll be strictly video and audio. We love you. Enjoy the show. We're live.
Hell yeah, brother.
Oh my God, oh my God.
Oh my god.
So
I thought you were doing a song.
it was.
Oh my god, oh my god.
It's just a new jingle that I came up with.
Drew would know what I'm
What
talking
you wanted
about.
in, boy?
Yeah, boy, I'm gonna put 6 of them in my mouth.
Hell yeah, that is a 6.
I'm gonna fucking freak out. Dude, we were recording with the actual mics this time?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I
dude.
double checked.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That was
This
pretty-
ain't earbuds.
So one thing I wanted to bring up from watching you and Nick, listening to you and Nick was it's cool, but I think people won't like it. I mean, I'd like people to comment once we get people to comment, but I don't know if it did this with ours or not. I don't remember, but it was doing like left and right audio. So if you would talk, it'd be on the left side, and then if Nick would talk, it'd be on the right.
Did you have both earbuds in?
It was listening in my car.
Okay.
And then when I did it with earbuds, it also did left and right.
I looked into that.
It was cool, but then after a minute, I was like, if one person's just talking, it kind of not gets annoying, but it's like, it's like it throws you off.
Whenever I'm wearing one earbud, it sounds fine.
Yeah.
And I thought I had solved it
If you're wearing
because
one, it plays both audios.
I have mono on the freaking...
Maybe don't.
No, but it was doing that the first time we did it.
Without
on earbuds.
mono?
Yeah. On our first 2 episodes, it was kind of doing that on my computer.
I mean, like I said, it's not a big deal.
I'm gonna have to figure it out.
Even if,
I wonder if I can
I don't
switch
know
it to
what
mono
mono-
on CapCut.
not to like, I know we on the pod, but let me look up what that does.
You just showed up to shit on my day.
What
You've been
the-
being all nice this entire time, and then as soon as the podcast starts, you just start ripping into me.
Do on a audio.
I looked it up on ChatGPT, and that's what it told me. It was do it on mono. So I don't know.
Oh, okay, keep it on that. It says the mono button says direct monitoring of all hardware inputs to mono. So the inputs are heard centered in your headphones or speakers.
Okay.
So we probably want that on.
Yeah, I guess it's just that I really don't know.
Yeah.
It might be the audio interface.
I think
doing
keep that
it.
on. Dude, my audio interface is perfect, dude. Oh wait, I
True.
should probably move. I'm just kidding, but I should probably move this closer to me.
Yeah. Your level, it'll be fine. We can get the levels
it'll
right.
balance it out.
Yeah.
Dude, hell yeah, dude.
So
I'm excited to this pod.
I know. A lot happened. We recorded the second episode without you.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd talk more shit on me, kind of.
I wouldn't do
I
that.
say talk shit, but like mention, you know.
I wasn't gonna do it just because we hadn't talked much
Yeah.
since then, and I didn't want you to think I'd be like listen to it and be like, "Oh God."
I'll spit out, bro.
But you decided to not record last Saturday. This is a Tuesday, and ended up being a great idea for both
It
of
was
us,
worth it, dude.
in
I had
my
a-
opinion.
I had a great day.
Yeah, and then what? So last week I talked to Nick about doing the
Already
pod.
beefing, dude.
Oh, it's fine. I re-listened to.
It's good?
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's actually
On the
very
earbud
funny.
portion, well, I didn't hear the Patreon yet, but
Yeah.
on the earbud portion, it was a little loud, but it's so good.
But last week, I texted Nick and I was like, dude, whenever you want to come on, please, let's do it. And he was like, well, the best days for me are Mondays and Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, let's do it Monday because I have a pool fence in Baton Rouge Wednesday, which is
Yeah.
tomorrow now, which is, you know. But it ended up working out
This
because
is
now
pretty,
we're recording
it's
2
pretty
in a
gay
row.
that you're doing these pools without me, dude.
Well,
How dare you?
they specifically wanted it Wednesday. I have another one in New Iberia
Yeah,
Thursday.
no, I
then I just
understand.
got the gate for it today.
Yeah,
but
I
anyway,
just like working with you.
by the
And
time
money.
Nick got here, And plus, I cannot afford to pay you right now.
Yeah. It's all good.
Whenever Nick got here, I was like, dude, you're actually saving the day because I wasn't going to have anything for this week.
All right.
And then we did it last night, and I listened to it, sounded good, posted it, and then it was just like, well, shit, let's rip another one Tuesday night.
I think it was also cool because Nick seemed a little more knowledgeable, probably a lot more. He just didn't. He wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
If he's more comfortable on the mic, I would assume it seemed like he has a lot more knowledge.
He needs a little bit more time on the mic because
it's just like from the first pod to second to now, it's like you're natural. After that
we
point.
only did 1 hour.
All right.
And
sorry for bumping the mic.
We only did 1 hour, but he didn't leave. He got here at 7.
Yeah.
We did an hour, and he left at like 9:40.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like me and him don't talk as much as we should. We text every day, but he mostly would just come over for UFC fights and stuff, and we would chop it up, and we would be like, dude, this would make a good podcast, and it did.
You have something to do versus like being strictly like, hey, let's talk.
I think that's the first time he's ever spoken into a microphone. Like, I don't think this dude's ever videoed himself.
Well, you have the mental pressure of it, you know?
Yeah. And I think everybody would overthink it. And it was, but he did great. It was fun. It was a fun time.
I feel that, because it's like the first.
So I was kind of like, before it started, I'm like, dude, if you just need me to go, I'll just, I can talk.
Yeah.
I can just talk my ass off.
Right.
Especially I had like 5 beers in me. Let's go, dude. I ain't scared of shit. Dude, did you bust your lip? Your tooth is bloody right now.
Which one?
This one. Yeah. No, up here.
That's where I put the Zin, dude.
Uh-oh.
Dude,
you gave yourself cancer already?
These Zins are extreme, dude.
It's funny, we're recording. So, okay, let me give some insight to...
Wait, it's on the wrong side, dude. What the fuck? The Zin's not even on that side.
Let's give some insight to what's been going on to the listeners.
I might have sucked hard, you know?
Yeah, you do. And speaking of sucking hard, dude, you freaking have all the stuff to make this a true video podcast with your nice.
Let's talk about that, dude.
With your nice camera, and you left the one major component that was going to keep this thing going as a video podcast.
Look,
hold on, I'm talking, son.
I'm sorry.
So we're recording this off of my phone.
Yeah.
And so now I can't look at the topics that I have on my phone. But I memorized a bunch of them.
You want me to take a screenshot of it?
No, we're good.
We could like take a quick break.
No, I remember them. I can recite them right now.
Is this going to let you know if it
It'll
pauses?
make a little boop boop.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
and
right,
then I can just hit this button again.
Because like if we tried to do that on my phone, it would stop within less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I can't.
Well, we're already at 6 and it's still going. Like I said, you would hear it.
Yeah. If worst comes to worst, we'll like switch out the pages.
Let me double check.
Yeah. It's all good. You cut that out. No, you can keep it in, dude.
We still going.
I like keeping ratchet shit in, you know? It's all good. It ain't got to be so...
Whenever it's a square, that means it's recording, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, dude.
We're
Circle stop, dude.
Right now,
square
boy.
going, dude.
Yeah, I ain't pulling down my shorts for Paige. I'm hiking them up.
Yeah, bro. I don't know.
You don't want people seeing these thighs, dude.
Yeah. If, should I, like, certain stuff we talk about, like, should we assume this is not a Patreon, or just... If I hit some Patreon type of vocabulary, then it's all good.
I'm to a point right now where I don't care either way.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Like, it's just let it go.
Oh, dude, one thing you totally fucked up on.
What?
I'm just kidding. But you didn't label it episode 2. You just labeled it.
Yeah, I noticed that. History,
you can edit it, right?
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure I can. But don't worry. Episode 3 is properly labeled, and I have this one. I didn't come. I like to. So what I like to do
right now, dude,
is come up with a title. Yeah. As I'm re-listening to it before I upload it on the YouTube.
Yeah.
So this one doesn't have a title; it's just EP4. But don't worry, we're back in order.
Yeah.
We got another episode. Well, I mean, I don't want to say it'll be up tomorrow because this will be after that. So
yeah, it'll be up.
There's an episode that you might have listened to already,
right?
And it's back in chronological order. Yeah, it's up.
So yeah, we needed something to make the camera record more than 30 minutes because, like, in our first podcast, it lasted 12 minutes.
Yeah.
We didn't realize, but we talked about that in the Patreon episode,
No, we actually didn't go into detail. So it turns out that Colin's camera, because of the memory card, it would only do 12 minutes, and then with a different memory card, it would go up to 30 minutes, correct?
Yeah.
But then you got a dummy battery that could let it rip for as long as we want it to.
ChatGPT assured me that we could go 2 hours.
Yeah, well, the dummy battery is not in.
half of it is here.
Half of it's here. The other half is not in the same
Apparently-
town as we are.
Apparently fell out of the box. And
The
I
other
was-
half is in a different zip code.
Yeah, dude. I was gonna go get it, but
So we're doing it off of the iPhone.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. Next
they'll
week.
appreciate at least some, and it doesn't matter. But future people will appreciate at least some video.
And also stay tuned for a new intro that we're cooking.
Yeah, dude,
It's
that's
gonna be sick.
Yeah, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna figure out what I could do for my my.
Don't
That's gonna
give
be
too
hard
much
to
away.
pick, dude.
Yeah, just pick something fucking cool though.
Yeah,
I
I
might
will.
switch mine too to something like
I'll probably put like Glorilla or something. you know?
dude, hell yeah.
Dude, when you, that's that one topic I wanted to bring up.
What?
Whenever you sent me that video of this, you trying to edit out and stuff, and it was the slow motion.
I'm gonna add that in. We're gonna clip that right now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do a
Please do.
slow mo. In
That
a
was
little-
so funny. No way.
All right,
Dude, I just said we could play Glorilla on this shit, and then I just got a scam email that said, Colin Gillis, claim your grow. Oh, I can't say it right. Gorilla carts. Anyways,
welcome to the Patreon. I was screaming, laughing, even recording it on my phone.
You laughing made me laugh even harder because I
I
was
was
like,
both of the kids were sleeping.
yeah.
They were napping. Luke was on the couch. Matt was in Luke's room, and I was crying in the dining room
Yeah.
listening to it. Dude, it's so good.
I was already laughing, and then you laughing made me laugh even harder.
I think what made it perfect is because at that point we were already kind of buzzed, and it slowed it down. So we were just we
Yeah.
sounded fucking wasted.
If we played it would be miserable for a whole podcast to
Oh,
be like
yeah.
that. But like definitely clip some of that.
I'm
in.
gonna put a little 20 seconds in
That
there.
was hilarious.
That'll be fun. No, but I re-listening. So to the viewer, that would be episode 3.
Yeah.
That was recorded on the same day as episode 1.
Yeah.
And it was gonna be behind a paywall on the Patreon, but it ended up being, once Colin and I re-listened to it and we talked about it, it was just way funnier than the first episode that we did.
Yeah.
So we just had to let it rip.
Shout
we had
out,
to put it out to the
Drew.
public.
That episode's way better. Hopefully you enjoy it more.
Yeah, enjoy it, Drew.
Yeah, dude. Shout out to the 27 listeners or so we have. 4
Yeah.
of them are like us, I think. But
Yeah, but hey, who cares?
Shout out to the 20 or whatever.
Today I've been texting.
Isn't
some
that
people.
crazy though?
Yeah,
Like
I did not expect it to reach past like.
I'm not like
0.
I'm not a huge huge on YouTube anymore. I still watch a lot of YouTube, but I kind of watch my stuff and that's it.
Yeah.
But like it's crazy to me that everybody starts out like that, but it's crazy to me that that we even like I would never watch a podcast that has 20 viewers.
Yeah. Hey, go check the camera.
All right. We'll take turns.
I don't know if just the name. Okay.
We still
So
got audio regardless. So.
yeah. All right. No more checking it because this little thing is connected.
Even if
to
it's like
Bluetooth.
pieced out, where it's like it 5 minutes gets blacked out, it's all good.
Yeah, we'll just
We'll
keep
just-
on ripping it. But
Excuse me.
no, I was fully expecting single digit numbers on our first one.
Yeah.
And we're up to like 27.
Where did those come from?
I don't know.
And I wonder how much they watched of it. But then again, like I said,
You can look it all up
That's
on
not a-
YouTube, but I'm not gonna do that because that's just gonna make me think like an algorithm guy. Because I run into this thing where Paige will do this and Brendan does it a little bit less, but they do the same thing where they're talking about like if they want to create content, they'll look up a content creator who creates content about being a content creator.
yeah.
And it's just like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Nobody who really
It's not dumb.
hold on. Anybody who's good is good because they're unique and
We're
interesting.
just being ourselves. Yeah.
And is consistent and does
Like-
it correctly and just grinds it out. It's not because you followed these 5 easy steps.
Right.
Because if it was that simple, like, okay, if one of these guys with the instructions on how to grow your YouTube channel,
yeah.
say he has 500,000 followers,
Yeah.
how many of them are actually growing their YouTube channel?
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
They're not.
I don't want to
It's-
go off of like what's the most popular topics. No.
Exactly.
I
That's a bunch of horseshit. Because I
That's-
remember that
it's-
was a thing that I ran into, but like months before I started the podcast.
don't- yeah.
I'd like ran into a subreddit. I Googled like, how to start a podcast.
Yeah.
And the first thing it showed me was make sure you pick a specific topic and stick to it.
No.
The people that we stole this name from did that. And they did 6 episodes over the course of probably 6 months.
We didn't steal it. We came
We
up with it.
we
on our
came up
own.
with it on our own.
But of
Looked
course,
it up. Somebody had already used it because
there's-
it's an awesome name.
no
The
one
people
has
that
the
was it
original
was a
thought.
lady and a gay guy.
Yeah.
They sucked. They can't have the name
Yeah.
back.
Well, it's like, dude, how many thoughts are original these days? None.
Zero.
You gotta
Especially
make-
on the internet.
Dude, whenever back in the day when I used to like try to make a cool username, they're all taken.
Yeah.
You know, like my name's not even that, especially my last name, my first.
But that's
name.
not what it's about.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is if I would have followed the guidelines of that, we wouldn't have come up with the first episode. Because
Yeah.
the idea was like, I'm going to make a history podcast. I'm still reading the same freaking book.
Yeah.
And you think about, I don't know if you like Hardcore History with Dan Carlin.
I've heard of it.
He's awesome. He rules.
Yeah.
Another example is Oversimplified on YouTube. They make awesome videos just
Yeah.
about history. Oversimplified releases, and Dan Carlin, essentially one thing a year.
Yeah.
That's not what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're cranking shit out.
Right.
We're at minimum, I want 1 a week. Best case scenario, 2 a week.
Yeah.
Just give,
Yeah, you're
just
gonna-
put it out there. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Even if it's all dog shit, which it is.
I didn't
Which-
want to. Yeah, I didn't want to like. We could talk about that too, but I'm tired. I don't know if I want to do the. But that day, I'm glad I went chill with them because I hadn't seen him in a while, Drew and Sadie, and then they were both like happy to see me, and I was happy to see them. And then we had some. We didn't really play that much, like Xbox or anything like that, but play a little bit. But we just had some good ass convo, good ass catching up.
Yeah, if you want to have interesting conversations, you got to
Yeah.
hang out with somebody besides the person that you want to have the conversation with.
Right.
So that's cool. And it ended up working out great for me, too. I really wanted to record, but if you wouldn't have been
Well,
on your
also
A
it-
game, it would have sucked. And then also,
Yeah.
instead, I hopped in the
My
pool,
mom came
and your
over
mom
again,
came
dude.
over. Once again, your mom was over the other night. And
I can't wait to like. Yeah, that show was funny. Whenever you said that.
It's going to be like every podcast. I'm going to be like, your mom was here the other night.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's my
No.
mother-in-law, people.
Yeah.
Everybody that watches
That's what's
this knows
funny
this.
about it. Yeah. Right.
Hopefully someday somebody that doesn't know that sees this.
Yeah. I'm glad.
But,
and then now I get to have a fresh cut for the next episode. You know.
I got me a nice sunburn. So the idea was Colin wasn't going to
I'm
record.
peeling at the moment right now.
Yeah, we weren't going to record Saturday, and then we were like, all right, definitely Sunday after you get off of work.
Yeah.
I got sunburned like a motherfucker Saturday.
Yeah.
And Sunday I was in bed by the time you texted me that you got
Yeah.
off of work, so I was like, fuck that.
And then Conley said he was tired Sunday, and I thought he was making fun of me because that Saturday I had like a rough couple. I did my body dirty a couple of days in a row. And then, like I drank, and then I hung, and then I stayed up all night one night. Went to like Legends. I went to a bar, and then didn't go to bed at all. Went to work. Felt good. The next day got like not a good recovery amount of sleep. Was tired, and I was like debating it while me and Conley were working. And I was like, I wasn't gonna tell him till last second. That way he couldn't give me shit for hours. So I was like, I'm gonna tell him like right whenever we get like back to his house, so he can like, he can like pout for a little bit, and then I'll just dip. Like, but I told him early, and then he was just giving me shit for it. And then after a while, I was like, yeah, I could do it. I was flip flopping between it. Toward as the hours went on, I was like good, but dude, like carrying like I'm strong, dude. Carrying just like the damn air compressor, I was like, you know, it's like this is heavy. Going
No,
back
and,
to the
and
track.
thinking back on it, I do want you on your A game for this.
Yeah.
This is not this podcast is Plan A. This
think-
isn't Plan B
Yeah.
podcast.
I
This
think
is-
it still would have been great. Cause towards the end, I felt better. You know, once I got some food in my system, a little energy drink. You know.
Yeah.
I was late.
No, but I ended up having a great time, and I would have honestly been kind of bummed
we would have got cut short.
if we were. Honestly, we wouldn't have kept recording once your
Right.
mom showed up and jumped in the pool,
Yeah.
and then Heath showed up.
Yeah.
Heath is the life of a fucking party.
Yeah, dude.
So We're
Yeah,
not staying in
I had
here
a
for
great
that.
time, dude. I want to do some southern shit. I want to shoot guns and stuff, dude.
Yeah.
It's fun.
That's not Southern shit. That's real American shit.
Right. I had a great time though. Like I love like this is only my second time shooting guns, but I've shot like when I was real young. I shot a rifle once. I killed one button buck deer, whatever.
Yeah.
But other than that, I never really shot any guns. You know. So like this is my second time going, and it's surprising. Like we're shooting a target, but even if we were just shooting the ground, it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's like it's like a good adrenaline rush, and it's
Oh, yeah.
so I never
Everything about shooting a gun is nice.
The
The
first-
loud noise.
Yeah, dude.
The
It feels
smell.
powerful, dude.
Yeah.
And then my favorite thing is like I'm trigger happy, dude. I have to like. There's a considerate level to it where I don't want to just unload someone's clip because it's like, okay, well there goes
That's-
$20.
Yeah, exactly. I was
That I
about
was just
to
like,
say
can
that.
I unload $20 right now?
Yeah.
You know. But that's so like. Normally I'll hit the target a few times. Hit the target. I'm like, hey, you cool if I dump the rest of this clip? This magazine. Sorry, gun freaks. But dude, it was a blast. This time around, I had shot a few pistols and then like 2 ARs last time, the first time, and then this time I got to shoot the same AR and pistol, but I got to shoot a 40, which you have. Wait, is it 40 right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to shoot a 40 again, and it was cool because I shot yours, and it was like, oh yeah, I know what this is, because it's a little more powerful than a 9, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just I don't know,
Yeah.
it's cool. And then I got to shoot a revolver for the first time, broke that virginity. I was
Oh, yeah.
I was a little nervous, like shooting any new gun. I'm a little
Way
nervous.
back in the day, before I even moved into Scott,
It was
I had a
fun.
44 Magnum. And that
That's-
thing,
So I could show you a picture of it, but I don't know if it was a 44 or 45.
probably a 40. If it was a 44 Magnum, it would have been noticeable because it's like the size of a hammer.
It wasn't a short barrel, so it was a long barrel and it was heavy, but it was a revolver.
Did it have like a really thick barrel? Like, was it
Yeah,
like a heavy piece of?
yeah. It
might
was
be.
pretty heavy.
Might
It
have
was like the
been.
heaviest pistol I've shot.
You know what brand it was?
No,
Okay.
no. I could no.
Dude, you ever seen people shooting those Desert Eagle 50s?
I want to shoot one of them,
Dude,
dude.
those are
No,
bad,
I want
dude.
one. I'll get one eventually because I think they're so cool.
Yeah.
But dude, I can't wait to get like some of my own too. I've been saying that, and once I get this new job and I get that excess income, I'm gonna get one.
Hell yeah.
Because they've been like, when you gonna get your own, bro? And then ever since I've been shooting, I'm like, dude, I gotta get it.
You hear that, people? Colin wants guns.
Yeah, dude.
Y'all need to watch this podcast.
Yeah, I might even throw in some clips of me shooting guns if we can, dude.
Hell yeah, that would be a
That'd be
good
cool.
time.
Yeah.
But let's get into some of the topics. I
Yeah.
got a good one
You
to
wanna go
kick off.
first?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was I was surfing the web,
Yeah.
as I do,
Yeah.
and I came across a news article talking about the Ukrainian army
Uh huh.
did like some of their deepest attacks on Russia recently.
Like
And,
recently.
Oh yeah,
Last
like
couple months.
days.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So what they did was, excuse me, they went into Russian territory
yeah.
with they did drone strikes like all the way across the Russian
Yeah, dude.
nation, like thousands of miles from the fighting front. And you get this idea, you've had the idea of like a drone mothership, where it'd be like a mother drone, like a queen bee drone,
That's
flying
wild.
through the skies that would deploy hundreds of other drones
That's a thing.
to go and attack things. But
Oh
it's
my
it's like
God.
a concept.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
The Ukrainians did something different. They sent a bunch of 18-wheelers with tractor trailers behind them, and inside of those tractor trailers was wooden sheds that they went and dropped off these sheds near enough to some Russian air bases, and then they remotely opened the roof of these sheds, and it deployed a bunch of drones that flew into the air bases and started blowing up Russian bombers.
okay.
Apparently not just that. Apparently there was a few fires in some residential areas, according to the Russians.
Yeah.
But it was big. The only thing that kind of made me feel weird about the article I had read, like I'm pretty skeptical with anything that I read on the internet, even if it's from a quote unquote good source.
Yeah.
I don't
As you should
automatically
be, yeah.
believe anything.
Right.
And one thing that kind of made me feel weird about it was, in the article, it was claiming that there was a bunch of Russians going around and saying that this was Russia's Pearl Harbor.
Probably extreme.
Well, it's not extreme because the damage that it is because not that many people died
know what
in it,
happened,
and it
right,
wasn't a
yeah.
surprise attack. God, did you just say you don't know what happened in Pearl Harbor?
No. Oh no, I'm talking.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
It was a surprise Japanese
Yeah.
attack on a naval base.
right. I remember all
of
that.
America's
yeah.
in Hawaii.
I don't know the deets,
Anyway.
but
I just thought it was weird that Russians were comparing it to Pearl Harbor because that's not really a part of their history.
yeah.
Like they have no reason to like use
Yeah, why are
Pearl
you trying to
Harbor
get
as a
clout?
reference
You
point.
don't need clout. You're Russia. It's fine.
Well, no, if somebody would attack America in some crazy way, if Mexico invaded Texas
Yeah.
in like a major tank battle
Yeah.
and set up a bunch of traps and beat us, nobody would be like, "Oh, this is the American Battle of Kursk."
Yeah.
Like that. I don't know. That's a weird reference point that made me kind of feel weird about the article.
Was it the article that named it that, or did Russia was?
They claimed that there was a bunch of Russians saying that this is Russia's Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
And
what? Yeah.
like I said, I don't know why a bunch of Russians would go around calling an attack on their home
Yeah.
similar to Pearl Harbor, because
Right.
like I said, they would have to be interested enough in. I mean, I'm sure it's common knowledge that Pearl Harbor, because it kicked off America in World War II.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like they're dealing with shit on their own nation.
Yeah.
They're not going to compare it to something that happened to America
You guys
84
want
years ago.
attention?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
kind of weird. It sounds like
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know about that.
That's pretty wild. So it's just a bunch of drone attacks going on? or-
Yeah, it's supposedly fucked up because the Ukrainians and Russians are supposed to be going to a peace
That's
talk
still
shortly.
happening?
Oh yeah, it's like not even slowed down a little
Why are
bit.
they doing that, dude?
Obviously because the Russians just want Ukraine. It's
Wow, dude.
well, that's actually a point of contention, dude.
Just let them have their spot, dude. What's the problem?
Well, there's this weird
I'd be
idea.
greedy.
It's like nobody agrees on why it's happening, but Putin has, from what I heard, it's all shit that I know from the internet, so
Yeah.
nothing that I know personally.
Poorly explained.
But
dude.
yeah. So what you'll have is some people will say that it's just Putin wanting to reunite the Soviet Union, and then on the other side, there's people saying that there's this thing that happened in 2014 where the Ukrainians elected a president that the Americans, or it looked like they were about to elect a president that the Americans wouldn't have liked. So the Americans went on a mass media campaign in Ukraine, spent millions of dollars, and basically got another guy elected
Yeah.
who had more similar ideas, like ideas that had more American interests involved.
Uh-huh.
And so that kind of, if
Yeah,
you
we're
were
sending them all
Russia,
kind of money.
if Russia swayed an election in Mexico, we'd be kind of pissed about it.
I'm so proud of you, dude.
But-
But Mexico.
Yeah. And so
It's real cultural.
that
dude.
was that. And then there was also talks of Ukraine joining NATO.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what NATO is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It started after World War II, and it was basically a defensive pact between a bunch of different nations to
Right.
kind of check the power that the Soviet Union had on the European continent.
Yeah.
And since then, it's grown a lot.
Yeah.
And it's Poland, the Baltic states. There's a lot of states that border Russia that are
Yeah.
in NATO, and there's like I think it's called Article 5, where if any NATO country gets attacked, all of NATO is bound by treaty to be there to defend them.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty strong treaty.
Right.
And there was talks about Ukraine joining NATO, but you
Yeah.
can't do that, obviously. If that was a thing, that would, to me, that sounds like a good enough reason to attack them and make sure they don't join NATO as a point. But also, do I believe that's 100% of the case? No. I also think Putin's a piece of shit, and he probably does want to see some, kind of reemergence of a Soviet state
Yeah.
over
I
there.
was just checking the audio.
No, we're good.
I just got paranoia, dude.
Yeah.
Something's not working.
I know. We've checked the camera twice, and
Yeah.
that's gonna ruin the first part of this
No,
podcast.
dude.
Yeah.
It's part of the fun.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. You guys are along for
We
the
ain't
ride.
got to cut
This
out
is
shit,
fun.
dude. We could add in. me
I
being
cut out
like-
some stuff from the beginning of the podcast with Nick.
Yeah. You told me about that.
It was. I'm gonna go ahead and spill the beans on it. I was
Nick,
like,
I just want to say that was a good podcast. I don't know how you felt about it.
there's some dogs barking.
You might feel how yeah. You might feel how I felt in the first pod, but I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, no,
I'm sure he's watching, right?
No, there's no
I
fucking
hope
telling.
he better fucking watch.
I have a feeling he didn't watch his own, but he's gonna
Yeah.
watch these.
Yeah, he better, dude.
There's something weird like with people, they don't like their own voices.
Right.
Yeah.
You seem very natural on it, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But also, I think if anything, the second pod and then this one, I feel natural on it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I have like a it's either a good thing or a bad thing, but I have this thing where I don't mind the way I look or sound.
Yeah.
And it becomes a problem because whenever I see somebody speaking publicly, I think, hey, I think I could do better than that.
Yeah.
We ran into that at the rescue gala.
Yeah.
Whenever they had couples going up and telling their stories and stuff, I'm like, dude, I would have held the crowd in the palm of my
Yeah.
hands. Probably not true, but it's true enough to me to
Yeah,
make me
that's what
willing
matters,
to try
dude,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
So I've
that.
never had a problem going on a podcast or doing any of this shit.
Shout out Rescue Group.
Yeah. Well,
Totally.
not really, because they didn't call me on the stage.
Yeah, that's all
I
good.
still, they're okay.
You would have done great. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'd be cooler if they did, but yeah. Oh, it was a good pod. I enjoyed it.
What's something
I
you
watched the
got?
whole fucking thing, dude. So
Yeah, that's
I
good.
yeah.
We
And then-
appreciate that.
And then
Look, even Colin's giving back.
just to tie into like that again, it was like I don't know who else would be like who else is interested in history. I'm not saying I'm not interested, but it's nice to hear someone who has more to add to it than just me listening and giving feedback and asking questions, which would be good
Yeah.
for like your segment of history and stuff like that. But it's cool to hear somebody, you know, that knows a thing or two, you know.
Yeah. There's different gradients in like history
Yeah.
interest.
Right.
You have people that like just listened whenever they were in school,
Right.
and then you have guys like me who listened in school, was really into it, and then started
Yeah.
like not
That-
studying it, but just taking such an interest in it that I'm willing to
History
learn
is
more
probably
about it.
my least favorite in school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was. I never.
But also it
failed
was
a test
school.
in it. Yeah, school's gay.
Yeah.
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 But then there's also people that don't know a fucking thing.
Yeah.
So
Dude, I got so many podcast messages right now. People trying to get me on their podcast.
really,
I'm just kidding. I got
Like
a
who?
FaceTime call, but fuck that call, you know.
who wasn't?
Myra. Dude, this is not really a big topic, but I want to bring it up. Love you, Mom. But every time I'm leaving the damn house, all right? I live in my mom's house. Every time I'm leaving, love my mom. Love talking to her. We talk about fucking crypto. We talk about life stuff. It's great. But every time I'm leaving, and you could tell I'm leaving. It's not like I'm just chilling in my room. When I'm chilling in my room, yeah, come talk to me. But like, I'm like walking out the door, and she's like, okay, you're about to leave? Okay, here's all this stuff that happened today. And it's like, which is cool. But like, a lot of times I'm excited. I'm going to do something that I want to be there early to do. You know? Like this. I want to get there just in case we need to set up the fucking camera equipment that I didn't bring or anything like that, you know? And so today, Myra's not going to watch this shit. I'm not going to tell her about it because I'm about to talk shit. But just a little bit of shit. Just
Let it rip.
It's a wee bit.
Paige actually gave me the green light to talk shit about her.
Cool.
And she thought I would fall for that dumb bitch.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you're gonna, if I say anything about you,
Yeah.
you're gonna be so fucking mad.
You gonna hear about
yeah.
it.
And she's
Yeah.
like, no, I wouldn't. I
Yeah.
was like, dude, you're gonna scream.
Whatever,
if I
dude.
do.
So I was like leaving, and she was talking about, you know, my mom owns a cleaning company. Shout out Ranch Cleaners LLC.
She doesn't clean horse stables.
No. Where'd that come from?
Ranch.
Oh, yeah. River Ranch, Louisiana. But so she was telling me about Myra, and
Oh, she told Paige about Myra too.
yeah, so you might have heard a thing or two about
A
it.
thing or two. I was going to get
Okay.
the kids, and Paige was in the truck with me. But she was talking on the phone while I went and got down and
Yeah.
got them. But yeah,
I
that
don't want-
ungrateful bitch, dude.
Right.
What the hell's wrong with
Dude.
Myra?
Okay, so I don't want to talk that much shit. I'm not about to get into all that.
I'm
but,
just kidding, so
I-
it's okay.
Oh, yeah, I don't agree with that. I'm kidding too, dude.
Yeah, but anyway.
But she's a smart girl, right? But also she can be stupid and ignorant and inconsiderate. And so like she was
You
explaining
just described every woman on the planet.
and basically she was like, my mom's like, helped her with so much shit. Like helped her with getting a car. Like she's willing to pay for her extra money for a down payment for a car, stuff like that.
And this is before you leave to come here.
Yeah, and then this is also like she goes pick her. She doesn't have a car right now. She goes pick her up. She goes. It's 6 hours. My mom asked ChatGPT to track this shit. It's over 6 hours a week of driving for my mom. That's like a whole. You know what I mean? That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of gas.
That's a work day.
That's right, literally. So that's their work day basically. But I was in a good vibe, right? And it just like so I broke up with Myra for reasons, you know. But we're still cool. We're still friends, obviously. Like whatever. It's not that deep. I don't hate her. But sometimes I'm just like, oh my god. Like how do you not realize how much you wouldn't have a job otherwise if you weren't getting picked up to go to.
And we're back.
you could cut that out. That's for all our enjoyment, okay?
Yeah.
We'll cut that out. But yeah, no hard feelings. But anyways, it's just a shit show at that restaurant, and it's like, dude, you got it so good, you know, and it just complaining about shit, and it's like, hey, would you like to make the same amount of money, or would you like to make more money? Oh, you would like to make more money, duh. Okay, here's this offer to make a crap ton more money, and then there's like entitlement with it where it's
Yeah. You know what?
it's like you don't realize like how good you got it, and then you're getting offered more money and you're being silly about it, but whatever.
One cheat code that I feel like I've found in life is gratitude.
Yeah, facts.
And you know, I'm gonna say that I've literally,
even in the worst of situations, there's always something to be grateful for.
I grew up not poor, but like middle class.
Yeah, same.
And like grew up into a guy who ended up in, you know, doing pretty well for myself.
Yeah.
I've lost a child
Yeah.
in like a freak accident,
Right.
and I still find ways to thank God every day. I'm very thankful for what I do have, even though I've not had and I've lost a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
It could always be so much worse.
people think that if I had this, I would be grateful.
Yeah.
But then that just snowballs into something
Yeah,
else.
you'll never be
You
satisfied.
need to be grateful in order to be happy. You don't need to be happy in order to be grateful.
Right.
You know, it's they have the horse behind the cart on that shit. And I see that with a lot of people, and it's like a problem in people's lives that don't understand that.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of things that I feel like help me out with my life. It's, you know, like I said, gratitude. I will find something to be grateful for.
Yeah.
I'm not grateful for the fly that keeps buzzing around this table.
Dude.
But I'm grateful for all the things that I have. And another thing is, you can choose to think of other people in a certain way.
Yeah.
You know, you can, and me and Nick talked about this the other day.
Yeah.
It was, you know, you can look at the news and be like, oh, the world's gone to shit. Everybody's
Yeah, the world's
going
so
terrible.
sucks so bad.
And then I'm gonna
Yes,
do
dude.
like
Join me, dude.
I'm joining the dark side.
Yes, dude.
But you can think, you can read, you can watch the news and think like, man, the world's going to shit. Everybody's cynical, nihilistic, and just looking out for themselves.
Yeah.
Or you can decide to think that most people you walk across in life are good, honest people just trying to make their way through the world.
Do you want to see
And
the
that's
good
what
or
I
do you want to
choose
see
to
the
do.
bad?
Yeah, I choose to think that almost everybody's a good person, and that helps me. It helps me be nicer to people.
Yeah.
And whenever you're nicer to people, people are nicer to you.
Yeah.
It's like the
You attract what you are, bro.
Yeah, it's reciprocal.
Yeah.
And the same thing with gratitude. If you're grateful for the things that you have, every time you get something, you'll be more grateful.
Yeah.
And then you'll be happier.
Yeah.
And then as you're happier,
Right.
things just go, and then, you know, both of those things give back what you put into them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
See,
a big believer
I'm
in
grateful
that.
for my mom talking to me, but like, bro, I'm trying to go. Like,
Yeah.
And every time I'm trying to get out that damn door, you know.
You know what's funny? It's your mom.
It's a great problem to have.
Well, it's a reverse of what having a wife is.
Yeah.
Because whenever whoever gets home later
Yeah.
is like in their room or just like chilling in their own space.
Yeah.
So it's like you leaving is like you entering her space, and then it's time to dump.
Yeah.
Whenever you are
You had all
married
this
and
time
you
to
have a
come
wife,
talk to me.
I don't have a room.
Yeah.
Like my bedroom is a bedroom.
Right, you sleep in there.
That's it.
That's my house.
So it works out better once you're married and you don't have a room, because your wife's gonna get home and she's just gonna tell you all that stuff off
Yeah.
the bat,
Right.
and then it's done. Like by the
Well, I
time,
walk
like,
in the house, she could have did it when I walked in.
yeah, but she's not your wife. She's your mom. She's waiting for you to leave.
Yeah.
she's waiting for
Then
you to
to
be
tell
in a
me,
hurry.
don't.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, so like this final point to that was like, I was like, I had a good productive day. You know, like I got up, did some things, did some little errands and stuff like that. Went go get the haircut. Went to the gym, did cardio, which, look at me, I don't need cardio, but it's healthy.
Oh, look
Got
at
a
you.
little runner's high, you know. Felt good. Went home, was doing the sheets and stuff like that. Had all that time to talk to me, but whatever. Did finish. It's hot in my room. For some reason, my room runs hot, and I started getting a little irritable because I'm like sweating. Like I was like, why am I'm doing sheets? I'm not like working out. And so I was getting a little like, you know, not irritable, but slightly. You know, I was just like, God damn, dude. And then, God damn, dude, everybody's trying to hit me up, bruh. I'm just so popular. Not really.
What's it like? Actually, this
Being
subject
famous?
sucks dick. Let's move on.
Oh, you didn't even start, dude.
What's
Anyways,
it like being a global superstar now that you're on a podcast?
It's pretty fucking nice.
I see your phone ringing off the leash.
Yeah, dude. I got, you know, Matt and Shane's trying to get me on their pod. Joe Rogan hit me up a few times. I had to deny it.
You were busy?
Huh,
You had to
yeah.
find some kitty litter for some
Yeah.
lady in her 50
I was bringing out a curbside at PetSmart.
Yeah.
You know, I just
Like,
Jo-
I
Joe.
don't have time for you, Joe.
Joe next week maybe, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
you know,
tight, dude.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on this
I'm
podcast.
glad. Yeah.
Thank you for making all this happen.
Yeah, dude,
Even
thank
though
you,
it's
dude.
totally, it's from start to finish mine, except for that thing, whatever the hell that is.
Thank you to give me an outlet to fucking talk about my mommy on, dude. I
yeah,
appreciate
your mom
it.
and your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, so like to finalize it, I was good, and then like, got hot. I'm in my boxers, about to shower, and like, just trying to start a conversation. I'm like, I'm in boxers, like this is not a mom-son kind of sitch, you know.
Yeah.
Let me go shower, and then we can, you know. And then she starts talking about all that, and it was just like a bunch of ignorance from Myra's side. And I was like, at one point I was like, I don't really want to talk about this anymore. I'm kind of getting aggravated because it's just like, ugh. Not from her, but from Myra's side. And I was like, all right. I was like, let me go. And I don't think she knows.
Yeah.
Did you tell her we're doing a pod?
Who?
My mom.
No.
Oh, okay. I know she'd be coming over.
I hadn't talked to her
No.
since Saturday. Saturday, I admitted to her that I ran over the spike strip with the golf cart. She's like, Conley, that was on my debit card. I was like, well, they gave you, nothing happened, right?
Yeah, I'd have
We're
paid you
good.
back.
I wouldn't have.
Spike strip fee, dude. Yeah, it was all good. And then never mind. I'm not gonna say that part. That's illegal.
Good.
But yeah, dude, I was excited to come do the pod today.
Yeah, I know. I was feeling it today.
Yeah, I was like, especially, it kind of sucked because I knew you had the kids going. But let me get one of them.
Yeah, boy.
Make my gum bleed a little more. That was kind of embarrassing. I don't know what the fuck that was about. But Colin don't brush his teeth. I don't know what happened, dude. I think I sucked a little hard. You know me.
Yeah, it's okay, dude.
Um,
This podcast is about being grateful and forgiveness.
yeah.
We
Try not to bump the mic.
we
'cause
call people who we actually care for dearly a fucking bitch, but we do still care for them.
Yeah, dude.
We also call the person we're married to a dumb bitch. So
Yeah.
that's, you know, it's yin and yang, dude.
Yeah.
It's all good.
My mom's a bitch, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck, trying to talk to me and have good conversations. What the fuck? But yeah, dude, I was excited to do the pod. Around like after I got out the gym, I was like, I want a pod right now, dude. I feel like I had so much to go with, you know. I was just good energy. I still got it, but I feel like it feels fun right now, you know.
Yeah.
So, you want me to bring up a little topic?
Go ahead, dude.
Dude,
You
I'll-
got something?
I got a couple things, but kind of one I'm excited to talk about because it was fucking funny, and I'm drinking Twisted Teas right now, so it's relevant.
Okay, let's go.
So I was watching a little 9-minute clip from Matt and Shane's podcast, and they were I'm gonna try to go through the story good. It won't be that long.
There's pretty much 100% chance I've heard it. So let it
Okay.
rip.
So do you know the Twisted Tea story? With the guy named Joe at a concrete dump yard.
Oh man, no, I don't.
Guy shot his wife.
No, go ahead.
Dude, it's so good. Okay, so so basically there's Matt's family, they own a concrete like dump site kind of deal, and it's like 6 acres of where people just go to dump
Yeah,
used concrete, like broken up concrete, whatever.
yeah,
And he used the term that they were whoever owns it, his uncle I think, is like lording over it, like he's the lord of the concrete yard, you know?
yeah. Apparently, I think Matt's family had a lot of like construction businesses
Yeah.
and shit.
So like the way they described it was just funny. But so this concrete yard, and they needed to hire a guy, and they were like, I think it was his uncle or something. Somebody mentioned this guy named Joe, and they were like, this guy Joe is very reliable. The only time he will miss a day is if he's in jail, which is a great way to introduce.
I've worked with a few guys like that.
It's a great way to introduce somebody. So, anyways, they contact him. They get this guy Joe to, come work at the concrete yard. And I don't know what they do afterwards with the concrete, but it's just a big pit of concrete.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, we'll get him on a dozer. So Joe comes, does some concrete, doing his thing. He's real reliable. And one day, I forgot how they found out. Somebody found out, but anyways, he was drunk, driving a dozer.
And
they were
there's
like-
no way that's uncommon.
They were like, "This is a huge." They were like, the guy who ratted him out was like, "Hey, I'm not a rat, and I'm not like that, but this is kind of serious because big liability, lawsuits, whatever the fuck, OSHA, I don't know." And this guy's drinking on the job. He's getting drunk. And dude, so he's apparently getting drunk off the teas, dude. He's
Hell yeah.
down and twisted teas on this dozer, and so the uncle, which I think I remember is the owner, is he's like, let me inspect this. So he goes inspect the dozer, and he finds like 30 caps of twisted teas, and it's just hilarious because I don't know, as an older guy, I don't hear older guys drinking teas, so like I related to it.
Well, there's a lot of guys
Getting
that
twisted,
have problems, dude.
They're getting twisted, dude.
You can find older guys that drink anything on the fucking planet.
Okay, yeah.
They're, bad off enough.
So he
If
finds
anybody would inspect my trash can, they would be appalled at how many Coors Light and Miller Lite cans they
Yeah.
would find.
So this dude, they find 30 caps, whatever. It's like, what the fuck? So he confronts him, and he's like, hey, what you got going on? Because I inspected the dozer, and I found 30 caps of twisted teas on there. Obviously, this dude's packing some drinks down, and the guy was like, oh, they have alcohol in them. and then Shane was like, dude, that's the best defense to.
That's actually solid. I like that.
And then he was like acting like the guy. He's like, man, I thought I was just feeling good, who's down in that many teas? Like, boy, you're lying, and
Yeah, obviously.
you're feeling that good after that many teas, It's like, oh, I just thought I felt good,
Yeah, 2 of them will give you a buzz.
Right. Right. So, I don't know, kind of valid, I'm on 3 right now. I got something going on, but, so yeah, confronted him, and then it was like, Shane was like, man, that's like a serious, at any other job, he would have been fired instantly, but at this job, the guy's lording over the concrete yard. He's like, all right, first warning, you're getting wasted on a dozer. If he falls in, he dies. That's terrible, right?
Yeah.
So, guy, gets caught, whatever. I don't know what's the time span on this, but maybe days, weeks later, the uncle calls Matt, and he's like, hey, you know how I said that if this guy doesn't show up, like he didn't show up on the job, right? And he's like, if this guy doesn't show up, he's in jail.
Yeah.
Well, he's in jail. He's like, oh shit, for what? And he's like, he fucking shot his wife, dude. And it was like, oh, okay. And so apparently, and then he added this later in the story, but apparently the dude was on doing meth too. And
Well, if you're drinking twisted tea on a dozer, you're
Yeah.
you're not going back home and being like, oh, what a day, I'm going to bed. No, you're gonna make worse decisions after work.
it sounds kind of like a vibe, though. It's something I would do if
I
they
mean,
if
I
they
don't
let
hate
me.
the son
I
of
would
a
drive a
bitch.
dozer, dude. I drove the forklift drunk at PetSmart. So.
Yeah, but you're young, and that
Not
would
drunk, not drunk.
That would extrapolate into much worse things.
I could bring up that topic too, but I drank it on the forklift. I had a great time. I'm not just driving the forklift. Like, I drive the forklift maybe an hour or two out the day, but
Yeah.
I had a great time. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings, the High Council.
On the forklift?
Yeah, dude, got back. This was at the time where I had it good, you know. I had the assistant store manager, and we was, I don't know how to explain that without. But anyways, I was in cahoots with her, you know. It was all good, and so I went to B-Dubs, you know. She was like, my friend Tyler came, and she was like, yeah, you can go on a lunch break with him and go. And I was like, I have a 30-minute lunch break. Like, by the time I get to B-Dubs, I can like pee and then I have to come back. Like, there's no. She's like, well, just come back as soon as you can. You know, I was like, this is not okay, but okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I had like 2 doubles, came back, dude. Was, you know, fucking helping customers, dude, satisfying them, giving them.
You were satisfying
customers, dude. Giving them fish and shit, you know, and stocking shells and driving a forklift, and I had a great old time. I'm a forklift master, so it's no worry.
No,
know?
you're not.
Not
I
a-
would make you look silly on a fucking
No, you
forklift.
wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
I don't know.
Dude, I have well over 10,000 hours on a forklift.
I probably have about 9,999. So I don't know, you know. But anyway, so this guy, you know, he's on a meth binge and he's twisting it up with the teas. So he goes home and, you know, he got fussed at his job. Can't drink teas on the dozer no more. You know, they don't know the full
That
story.
might have been his power.
Right.
He might suck.
That's why he was working so
without
good.
twisted teas on a dozer.
And then I guess, you know, had a couple binges off some meth, and then next thing you know, his wife's bitching at him, his job's bitching at him. So he's like, I'm kind of quoting them, sort of. But
well, I want to go over
he went
the
home
important point, and it's like the guy shot his wife.
yeah,
What? Okay, you can sit here and try to
he
paint
was,
the world as
they said
black
he was a
and white.
baller, dude.
You can paint the world as black and white,
Yeah.
like good or bad.
She might have cheated on him.
Well, not even that.
Who knows?
You know, did he still have to do dishes when he got home?
I don't know.
What kind of suppers
Like, I
was
doubt,
ready whenever he got back
she
from
was
work?
awesome, and he went home on meth and teas and was like, "You're awesome, but plop."
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure it was a little deeper than that.
I mean, you and I know from experience that meth addicted people, they can hold down a relationship for a surprisingly long time.
yeah, they got a lot to talk about, dude. They got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
They don't have to go to bed.
Nobody's ever gonna rob your house because they're checking the blinds.
Babe,
every
you wanna
couple
talk all
minutes.
night?
Yeah.
Yeah, you talk about anything. You'll hear all our problems on meth.
Well, it's not just that, dude. They're on the lookout.
Yeah,
They're very good guard dogs.
Yeah.
Because they are checking the blinds are getting bent, dude. They're
shout
looking
out
outside.
Drew. You know about them. Never mind.
Drew's on meth?
No, no, but man, I hope he doesn't watch this episode. Not Drew, but somebody else that might be on meth.
I don't think
I'm
so.
not gonna tell him about it.
I don't think this is the algorithm that he's getting into.
No, he's not. No,
No.
certainly not. He's not our 20th viewer for sure.
No.
But I don't think I'll tell him about it because
We still love him.
yeah,
We
I love him, dude. I
wish
hope,
him well.
I fucking hope.
We wish him well.
That's my best friend, dude. I hope he is. That's a whole nother topic, dude. There's a lot of reasons why he
I
could.
think we might be talking about two different people.
Maybe Tyler.
Both of them, no.
Okay, well I'm
Somebody
talking
else that's
about, I'm talking
also
about
very
Tyler.
close to you.
He's not watching it either.
Definitely not. So
Yeah,
we're
they're-
good.
They might be hanging out. Highly doubt it, but
I mean, it wouldn't be out of the realm.
yeah. But no, that's so funny. No, I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about Tyler.
I wish I had cool clips to talk about. Facebook has completely overrun my video algorithm with chess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gotten into chess recently, and I'm about to get out of it because
Yeah,
for
you
some
got-
reason,
You're gonna have no fun because you're gonna be too good, dude. Stop it.
well, it's not that. No, I don't even play the fucking game.
Yeah, we could
But
play
now all it does is show me videos of chess.
Yeah.
And I keep skipping them.
It's a little
I
ridiculous.
went over the same. I had the same problem with 600-pound life.
Yeah.
I watched one video of.
Oh, dude, they're like, you like this once?
Oh yeah, look, here's 20 hours of
Yeah.
it lined up, and I just skip past them.
I've had
and
a-
it's just the same thing
I've
over
had
and
that
over
problem
again.
with like productivity stuff and like upgrading your life, like being,
Oh, God.
you know, like progression and stuff. And it was
Yeah.
to the point where I was like, Sometimes I don't want to
You know
progress.
they have a
I want to
word for
relax.
that type of content.
I want to relax sometimes.
Paige is getting into that
Talking
stuff
about the hustle
right now.
culture.
Hustle porn.
Oh
Because
yeah,
that's all it is, dude.
love
It's
some
just
porn,
like,
dude.
oh my god.
Especially if you're hustling.
No, those dudes aren't hustling, dude. They're
Dude.
making videos.
Yeah, dude, they're hustling, dude. They're
Yeah, they're
grinding.
not building roads, dude.
They're on the grind.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever grind
shame
that
their
might be.
grind, dude.
I hate it.
Dude, they're grinding.
It just drives me
That's
nuts.
what I'm on. Well, that's not what I'm on. I'm on that balanced life. I'm trying to hustle, but also like enjoy it. You know.
Yeah. I don't know how to get my algorithm to just show me funny shit
gotta
that I
start-
can talk about on here. The best thing that I have on my algorithm, the best algorithm I have for funny shit is Netflix.
Yeah.
And because it shows me really tragic documentaries of sad things that I think is just so goddamn hilarious.
Yeah.
Dude, it was...
It'd be like that. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll save this for the next... But, yeah.
Where are we at?
I
right
went
now?
over... We're at 55. So just a few...
Damn.
Yeah, we'll
We
just do a
rolling.
few more minutes and then we'll...
Take a break.
Yeah, we'll take a break, switch over.
Yeah, we could keep rolling though, for sure.
No, because I'm going to need to pee. I'm going to need some more beers.
No, I'm saying
too.
like roll after that.
Oh, yeah, I'm down for another hour.
Yeah, that was quick.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're already.
And for some reason, I want to do another hour. I originally planned to just do 1 hour with you.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I got to get to bed at a decent time.
Yeah.
Because I got to go to Baton Rouge tomorrow.
Oh.
But, you know, off of, you know, episode, what is it, 3?
Yeah.
Came out so much better than episode 1. I feel like you and I really
Yeah.
blossom after we get
Yeah.
the first hour out the way. And
Yeah.
we just kind of...
This is a great
Go a little
first hour,
wild.
I think.
No, we're doing good.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah.
I haven't run into too much shit that I would regret saying yet.
Yeah.
But it's funny because
You about to run into it right now?
I thought we were gonna do that with the other hour that we did the other day. That was supposed to be Patreon. We were like, just gonna go wild. It's gonna be Patreon. But once we re-listened to it, I was like,
We're
oh,
not
that's
that
really
wild.
not. It's not that bad.
Yeah, we're like mild,
So,
dude.
yeah.
I
so
love
we're
mild
not-
sauce, dude.
Yeah, we're not psychotic or anything.
Yeah. I mean, you could go there, but like it's me not being myself if I'm going that hard.
Yeah.
But if I used to be, there was a point in my time where I got a little too wild with like saying off the wall shit that people would be like, oh, you
yeah,
know?
but yeah, me too. And then I turned 14,
Yeah,
so
I was like 20
no,
or something like that.
no, definitely. But with
It's because it got a reaction. That's why I got fined.
right, and with this, it's different. It's actually a conversation. If
Yeah.
you would just say something crazy and there's no follow up to it,
Right.
it would suck.
It would get old. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, no. But it was a good time. It was a good period. It was a good. I had to go to the extreme to learn the balance of the, you know.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
And then we lost a friend that we needed to lose, so it worked out. You know.
I don't know what you're talking about right there.
Yeah, it's a whole topic, but
We, like as in me and
no,
you.
no. Me, like Drew, Tyler, Myra, like that was all our friend group,
Yeah,
and then there was this bitch that we lost, and that was good. You know,
Oh, okay.
we're better than ever. Except
Yeah.
now it's kind of like me, Drew, and Sadie, and not Myra, and then Tyler kind of.
so
Tyler's like on a dozer somewhere
so
in a
you
concrete.
jettisoned 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tyler's in a concrete yard somewhere bulldozing.
that happens, dude. Friends come and go. Families
Yeah.
forever. Like me
Yeah.
and you, dude.
Right.
Ring bump.
Yes, sir. Dude, it was perfect,
I
dude.
know.
Hell yeah. Tangent Ring, shout out, sponsor.
Me and you're gonna be
Please.
family forever as long as me and your sister stay married.
Yeah. Your bitch wife, dude.
Yeah.
Is this a Patreon episode already, dude?
No, definitely. No, the Patreon's on pause.
Yeah.
Patreon's on pause until we can really,
Yeah.
zero in on
All right.
what we want it to do for us.
if it goes a little too extreme, we'll put it on Patreon. Like if it gets to the point where we want to cut out quite a few parts, then I feel like it should go on Patreon. But as much as we can put just on YouTube,
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling too. And honestly, I don't feel like I'm extreme enough in anything in life
Right.
to be worried about anything.
yeah,
Because, like, there's no topics that I'm scared to cover.
yeah.
You know,
Our personal stories, I heard you say some wild shit, you know, but
I don't know.
not much.
Hit me with one.
Hangman.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's a fun game. No, that's a fun game. It's guys having fun.
Yeah.
And it was mostly you.
Yeah. What?
You went
I
wilder
said
than
yeah.
me.
No.
Yeah.
No, you started it. And I
Dude,
just-
that would actually be a fun idea for an episode.
you
dude.
started and I ran with it. Okay.
Dude, what if we could hit the projector with the camera, microphones?
Yeah.
We need to get a few more microphones.
I'm down because
eventually.
it's not that focused to where we can't just still like talk about random shit while doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. and make random, you know.
I want to get some more microphones because I have some bros that would come on, that could come on.
Yeah.
That if
I
it
would-
was 4 of us and
Yeah.
we were just on a Saturday night, we
Yeah.
just start throwing them back.
I'd love to.
It would be wild. It would be not wild as in like, oh, we can't put that, but it would be funny. It'd be
Hey,
a
Drew.
fun time.
I'd like to get you on the pod. He said,
Dylan, I don't know if Dylan, I don't know how he would do. Dylan is one of the funniest dudes I fucking know.
just get him on.
I
Dude.
don't know how he'd do with a microphone.
Just put him on a Patreon, dude. It'd be all right.
But no, I'm saying I don't know how he'd do with a
Oh,
microphone.
you don't know if he'd
He's
perform the
he's a
same
real
way.
humble guy.
Yeah.
He blossoms whenever I'm around. His
Yeah.
wife hates whenever we hang out
Yeah.
because
That's good.
He's
Not good, but
I grew up with him. He's my cousin,
yeah.
born 6 months or 7 months after me.
Yeah.
So we were basically the same age.
Yeah.
Grew up same grade, same school, took all the same classes together in high school, and
Yeah.
we lived literally. I could, like, as an adult, I could take a baseball and throw it into his yard.
Yeah.
So we grew up
Right.
like brothers,
Yeah.
basically, that had 2 different sets of parents. And so whenever we cut up a lot. I don't know how he would do. I'm gonna get him on. I
Dude.
told him about the pod. Hopefully he watches this.
I think
hears
he
his name.
just from the fucking Warzone times when we
Oh yeah, that's true. You played with him.
so fun, dude.
You know it's Dylan West though, right? Not Leje.
right.
I haven't talked to Leje in years.
That
That's
was-
one of my friends that I jettisoned.
I had so much fun with y'all on Warzone.
Yeah, because you were good. You were young and good. We
Literally
were all
the
like 30
first-
years old and
The
sucked at
first
video
time I
games.
played with y'all, I had so much fun because I was just sniping fools, dude, left
Yeah.
and right. And y'all were like, "Oh!"
Me
every
and Dylan
time.
and Leje would just ride around on 4-wheelers and
Yeah.
shoot into the air.
Yeah,
No, we sucked. I was never good at Call of Duty.
it's all a point to have a blast, dude. We had a blast.
Yeah.
There was times when we actually tried to win, and then
That's never
we'd get a
fun.
little aggravated.
You remember the
But
crack house?
yeah, dude, that was the shit.
shit.
Go to the fucking crack house, snipe people, just wait the whole game. Hopefully, a circle comes to us. Yeah, that was a good time.
Yep. Speaking of good times, tune in for the next episode, folks.
Yes, sir.
See y'all.
Shout out Patreon in the future.
Peace.